All right, I clicked on going live, so let me just see if we're live on YouTube and on Facebook.
We're live on YouTube.
Ooh, I forgot to put the title on Facebook. Jesus, I always forget something. Let me just give me a second. How's my audio? Hey, live chat, how's the audio? Moose Gal is there. Go live on Facebook as well. Great. Mute this tab. All right. How's audio? Can somebody in the live chat let me know if you could hear us, both Allie and I. All right. So today
We've got News Gal there. Yeah. Okay.
What?
Oh no, I was just reading who all we have here.
Okay. We need to go over the news really fast today because I have a podcast. I've been invited to a show right after this. Actually, let me mention them. Where am I invited? I have to look it up. I'm sorry about last week, everybody. I was in London for doing the Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson, and Douglas Murray show. I had a really crappy hotel and the internet was sucked, so the live stream didn't go through. Sorry about that. But I'm gonna be traveling a lot, so I'm gonna make sure I request better hotels. So the show is called Heathen Hour. I'm gonna be on that in 1 hour and a half after this. So we have to finish the show in an hour or a little bit over an hour. That means like we have about 5 minutes per story. Hi Muska. Good evening, Armin. How's the audio? Yeah, are you guys okay? So today we're going to go over the latest news on atheism, religion, secularism, politics, or anything else that the Atheist Republic community asks us to cover. That's why sometimes people say, "Oh, but this has got to do with atheism." We say like, "Well, the community decide." Like this is a community for atheists. It's not always about atheism, okay? It's a community for atheists. We could talk about whatever the fuck we want, okay? Always Godless is there. Hi. All right, so Ellie, let's go over the news really fast. First one.
Yeah, first one. Amnesty International has condemned the Iranian authorities for publicly flogging a man who was convicted of consuming alcohol when he was 14 or 15 years old. This was broadcast in the square of the eastern city of Kashmar on, actually, I guess it was 2 Tuesdays ago. The prosecutor said that the man was arrested in the Iranian year of 1385, which is 2007 for us, when he was 14 or 15 years old. There was a fight that broke out at a wedding, which resulted in a 17-year-old boy getting killed. And this man in particular was not involved in the fight, and he was nowhere even like near that when it happened. However, he was at the same wedding where he was caught having a drink of alcohol. So it's been 10 years since that happened, a little over 10 years actually. And the Iranian government decided that they were going to go ahead and give him this punishment. So they actually gave him 80 lashes in the middle of the town square there, where it was broadcast on TV and people actually watched.
Whoa, it was broadcasted on TV. No way.
Yeah, people actually watched.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm used to. I've been in Iran. I've never seen anything like this. There's something. Okay. Okay.
And I actually could be wrong about it being broadcast on TV.
Okay. Correct us if we're wrong.
There have been different reports. So yeah, I could be wrong on that. You guys,
no, but
let me know
if it is, that means like things are okay. Never mind. But
and here's the deal, and here's what a lot of people are bringing up is, and something I want to bring up too, because I've actually protested the UK about Pakistan over this issue. But they're a party to the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, meaning that they are legally obligated to forbid torture and inhumane punishments such as this one. And so why they decided all of a sudden that because it's Iran's Islamic penal code, they're going to go ahead and make sure they give this guy 80 lashes for something that happened a decade ago is just insane to me.
Right. I'll just really quickly give you my experience, what it was in Iran, and then we will move on to the next story. When I was a kid, my parents always drank alcohol at parties and stuff. Alcohol is very expensive because you have to know people to be able to get it. But my parents didn't have a problem with that, and they drank alcohol. Everybody they knew drank alcohol, and every time we were stopped by the police and they smelled alcohol, my dad would just give them some money and we would go home. I thought that's what everybody does until our maid's brother was arrested for drinking alcohol, and he got exactly the same. He got 80 lashes. He didn't have the option to pay
Wow.
the cops. This was many years ago, but I never knew they would ever even consider televising something like this. This is something like I thought, based on my experiences, that they would do it, but they don't want it to get a lot of attention. But again, personal experiences is not statistics, is not data. Just because somebody is from Iran doesn't mean that their experience represents the norm. It always sometimes depends on who you get, which judges you get, which officer you get. So it depends. Experiences may vary, but this is shitty regardless. Okay, next story.
Yeah.
All right.
Next story, there's a call-in Catholic talk show called Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, where they had a woman call in named Mary as a pseudonym, who related a story about how her belief has manifested behaviors in her life. So Mary goes on to tell Jerry and Debbie and the rest of their listening audience that she used to go to a hospital to give communion to people who were sick or couldn't make it to the church to get their wafer and wine. So she offered a wafer to a woman who puked it up immediately. And she tells the audience that she said to herself, "What am I supposed to do?" So she gathered all of the vomit
What?
in a little plastic bag. Yeah, this is about to get really gross, you guys. I didn't want to warn you first. Uh, and then she started thinking, how can I just leave Jesus there? That's just disgusting to leave his body there. This woman, took his body into her mouth and then puked him right up. And she felt disgusted about the fact that she was just gathering Jesus in a bag. So she asked herself, what can I do? And she tells the audience that she swallowed it. She says, I swallowed the whole bag. I did. I couldn't stand to leave him there.
Leave
So then
him?
she went to
Him as
Mass.
in like referring to Jesus?
Yes, referring to Jesus.
Like,
Look at this, it gets even better. She says, and then I went to Mass and I was in the choir. And guess what song they were singing? It was the song, Look Beyond the Bread You Eat. See your Savior and your God. And she said that definitely was no coincidence. That was him saying, yep, I appreciated what you did.
so she's looking at vomit and she's like, yes, that's my God, and I'm not going to abandon him. Like, that's what she's.
Oh, here's the other thing, Armin. She's in a hospital. Who knows what that sick woman has?
Oh my God.
I can't believe it. It is unreal. And this, just takes place and everyone giggles and thinks that this is an admirable thing that she did. This is disgusting and this is scary. And this is why, this is when being overly religious becomes harmful.
God. Vomit. This is. I want to spend so much time on this, but I know I have a show after this, so I have to move on. But I have so many comments. I have so many questions. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? And like,
Mike was saying he was so sad in all of the vomit. Yeah, no, that's exactly what Jesus was. He was sad, laying in a pool of vomit.
okay. All right, next one. He was so sad.
Next story. It comes out of Pakistan, and I do want to apologize if I'm mispronouncing the town where this happened in, but is it Balochistan? It's a small town inside of Pakistan where they've been having problems with political gatherings causing violence. So there was a gathering of the Balochistan Awami Party, the BAP, and as they were gathering there, some suicide bombers came, and right now the death count is up to 130. With over 200 people who are being reported in critical condition. They're having a problem with Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and the Taliban actually going over there into this area and trying to put out people who are politically gathering. So ISIS is trying to take responsibility for this explosion, leaving all these people so injured and sick. There are so many people who were injured after this that they were having to go to different hospitals all around Pakistan, to Quetta and some other places, because the hospitals just couldn't handle so many critically wounded people.
Right. And ISIS, a lot of people thought like, oh, ISIS is defeated and stuff. ISIS is not done like at all. Like, and I mean, they're much weaker than before, just to be clear, but they're still spreading many places. They're looking at Philippines, they're growing in Pakistan, in Iraq. They're still having somewhat of a comeback. Not never as much as they were before, but they're still very relevant, which is pretty sad. I guess it's 130. Oh, what the top comment is actually saying that the death toll as of 6 days ago has reached to 149. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're expecting that to grow because of all the people who are so critically wounded. I mean, we're probably still going to see that number rise in weeks to come.
Right. Well, this sucks. Okay, so next story.
Next story comes out of Turkey. The Turkish creationist Adnan Oktar has been under arrest for many criminal charges. For anyone who's unaware of who Adnan Oktar is, he's a creationist who wrote the textbook, The Atlas of Creation, and he's been very effective in convincing people to ditch evolution. So this year, actually, Turkey removed evolution from the nation's science classes.
Yeah, what
entirely.
the fuck? Every like people like in US and Canada, and they're like, oh, religion is slowly going away, don't worry. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's getting worse if you look at it internationally, right? Atheism was not illegal in Egypt, now it's illegal. Malaysia is mentioned hunting down. By the way, I don't know what the recent election in Malaysia is going to have an impact on. Did you look into? Let's look into that, because Malaysia wanted to hunt down atheists. There was a major political change now in Malaysia. I don't know what that means for atheists. Turkey is going back.
I actually reached out to people in Malaysia asking them if it's safer now because of that change. I was told that it's actually brought about a lot of bitterness from the people in the community. So it's like a different kind of danger.
So rather from people rather than the government. Like it's more for the people now instead of the government. Okay.
Right.
But the government is less anti-atheist then, right? In Malaysia, the new government.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll see what that means later. But this so evolution used to be something that you learn in school in Turkey. Now it's not, right? Is that what we're saying?
Right.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of places things are going backwards. I don't understand. Secular and atheist activism after all these years is not very strong. You know, we feel like we're growing, but everything else is growing faster than us. We are so tiny. We need more. We need more support. We need more volunteers. We need more activists. Start your own group. Start your own local chapter. Do something. This is insane.
Right.
We're not these trends need to change. Don't just look at your own environment and think like, oh, things are improving. Things are not improving, okay? Yes, this is the age of information, but it's also the age of misinformation. We need, anyways. But anyways, I interrupted you.
Well, that's okay. And I see that people are saying that they've seen a lot of Muslims happy about his arrest, and that kind of leads me into who this man really was. He fashioned himself as some sort of Turkish Hugh Hefner, surrounding himself with little kittens, blonde-haired, gorgeous women. Makes me jealous. So a lot of Muslims, had a problem with that because they definitely thought that these women should be more conservative and that he needed to not be so, flaunting them around. So, yes, let's move on to his charges. His charges are insane. It's such a vast amount of charges that I don't even think I have the time to sit here and tell you guys everything. But We're looking at sexual abuse of children, sexual assault, child kidnapping, sexual harassment, blackmailing, false imprisonment, political and military espionage, fraud by exploiting religious feelings, money laundering, violation of privacy, forgery for official documents. I mean, and the list just goes on. Tax evasion. It's an insane amount of reasons why he's been in prison. So because he's actually had a run-in with the president of Turkey before, it's possible that he will remain in jail for a long time.
Okay. All right. And how does this affect creationism? Nothing? Like.
Will it? Probably not. In all
Okay.
honesty, people who admired him for the work that he did on his book and the work he did to get evolution out of Turkey, they're probably still going to admire that about him. You know how people like to pick and choose. So,
And that decision is not going to be reversed anytime soon? Like the fact that evolution is out of.
no, probably
Okay.
not.
Well, he spread his poison and now he's in prison, but his poison is still out there. Great.
Yep,
Fucking guy.
right.
All right. Do we have any good news today? Just before I get.
Yes, we actually do. We do
Okay.
have some
Okay.
good
Good.
news
There's
today.
hope. All right. Let's go to the next one.
I don't know if it's good news. I'm not going to call it good news, but it's an
Okay.
interesting story. Okay.
Okay.
So, moving on to the next one. This one's kind of crazy, straight out of Florida in the United States. So, of course, it's going to be a little crazy. A 46-year-old Florida woman who's a dental hygienist allegedly admitted to fatally striking a woman in her Mercedes-Benz, and she says that it was God made her do it. So this lady is facing charges in second-degree murder and second-degree attempted murder for leaving the scene of a fatal crash and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. What this lady is saying happened is that she stopped taking her Xanax, which was legally prescribed to her from her doctor, and she said that she was sitting in her car and God distracted her. So off of this anxiety medication, she started seeing and speaking to God. An exact quote from, I think her lawyer said she didn't know if she hit the female because God arched her back, causing her to look up, so she did not see the female. Actually, that was a police officer who said that. So,
Why does she think God would do that?
Why would God arch her back, making her look up to the sky?
Okay.
There was actually a comment on this in our Facebook groups here where they were talking about God. God must be giving her some cunnilingus or something like that. I thought it was pretty funny. Our followers are hilarious, but yeah, I can't imagine why.
He's
why
says
anyone
like a
would think
prankster,
that.
like a very like not funny asshole.
Not funny prankster.
Yeah. What the fuck? So how does she know that it was God? Why is she not blaming it on the devil? I never know how this works. Like when something
Right.
shit happens, half of these people are like, oh, God made me do it. Half of them are like, oh, I was possessed by the devil. Like how
Yeah.
does that work? I don't know. I don't think it works at
How does
all.
it work?
It doesn't work. Yeah. I don't know. Again, this is a discussion that I don't know. People are like, oh, this person is just insane. It would have been the same without religion. Some people were like, well, religion is insanity. I don't know. It's hard. I say that if it's mentally, it's not, religion is not insanity because you can see that if your dogma is a very powerful thing, even people that are not insane could be affected by it. But the mix of dogma and insanity is a very toxic mix. So even if somebody is actually insane, religion really makes that a lot worse. And the example I give that is that if imagine you're the kind of person that mentally you are in a situation that you just see things, imagine things, hear things. Imagine how irresponsible of me would it be if I came and told you that those voices are real. Without religion. So if you think that's an asshole thing to do, so that would be the effect of religion on people that are actually insane, to think that they're actually hearing God or the devil or whatever. Anyways, next.
All right, so this is the story that I think a lot of people are going to be happy about, but
We're actually
I don't
moving
want
a
to be
little bit too
hypocritical and
fast.
say I'm happy about it.
We're actually moving a little
Are
bit
we?
too. Yeah, but it's okay. Maybe you know what? Maybe this episode goes in 1 hour, and people were like, "Oh, thank you. The 2 hours was too long." Maybe.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if people actually
Yeah.
prefer this. People, if they want us to comment more, or if they want us to keep it shorter. Let's see after this episode what kind of comments we get.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So what?
So
Next?
moving on,
Yeah.
there's a Turkish photographer who beat up a client after learning that the bride was 15 years old. This story is, like I said, a lot of people are cheering what this guy did.
He beats up the groom. Like he goes and like he's supposed to go and take pictures, but instead he starts beating them up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm going to tell the whole story so that you understand exactly what transpired here. So in Turkey, taking on a child bride is against the law, but it happens obviously more and more, and people tend to ignore the law about it. But this Turkish photographer was approached by a man saying that he would like to hire him to take wedding photos of his upcoming wedding. That was in like a week or two. So the photographer says, okay, it sounds normal and fine. Let's do it. So he signs the contract with the groom saying that he'll show up and take photographs. Well, he shows up to the wedding, and he said that, a direct quote from him, "I felt her fear because she was trembling." And he asked, how old is your wife?
Trembling? She was trembling?
She was trembling.
Oh.
He said she was trembling, like she didn't want to be there. He said that he felt her fear through her body language. You know,
oh
she
my
was
God.
trembling in fear. So he refused. He said, after he learned that she was 15, he refused to take pictures. Well, the groom insisted that he was bound by contract to photograph this wedding. And soon it turned violent after that. And the groom actually initiated the attack as the photographer tried to leave. The photographer wasn't having it, ended up breaking the groom's nose.
Wait, so the groom attacked first?
Yeah, the groom attacked him first because he was leaving. He said he refused to be a party.
And they decided to beat
wedding.
the guy that didn't want to provide a service? What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one that started it.
Okay.
And he said child brides are victims of child abuse. And
wait,
no
I don't
power
understand.
on earth can make me put
Yeah, go on, sorry. Go. That was
he
powerful.
said, yeah. Child brides are victims of child abuse, and no power on earth can make me photograph a child in a wedding gown.
Okay, so if this is illegal, how do you even get married? Like, is it just a ceremony? Like, aren't you supposed to get like paperwork and stuff? Like, how does that work? Is it just like your own pretend marriage? Like, if it's illegal?
I don't really know how that works. I just know that it is against the law in Turkey to have a child.
So yeah, if it's against the law, then you go to your whatever court or whatever, and you go and get the paper, and they're like, yeah, that's we
but
can't.
I don't know if it's actually heavily enforced. You know, it's
yeah,
one
but
of those things where
even
you
if it's
flip
not
the clerk to
enforced,
20, and you're like, just overlook this, and he's like, it's cool, dude.
But even if it's not enforced, you still have to get recognized by the government that you're married. Like, all they have to do is just not issue the paper. No, I don't understand.
Can you bribe someone to issue it anyway and lie? You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, okay. By the way, Turkey, Erdogan has to explain himself. Why is this illegal? It's un-Islamic if this is illegal, right? Didn't Muhammad marry a 9-year-old?
The legal age for marriage is 18 in Turkey.
Yeah, Muhammad married a 6-year-old and had sex with her when she was 9. So Erdogan, what the hell, right? Like, what is? Are you being Islamic or are you not being Islamic? You're.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, this guy is pretty cool. Is that his picture?
Yeah, that's his picture.
Okay. Let me see what. Oh wow, this one got lots of shares and comments. 3,000 likes, 300 shares. Top comment 300. I don't usually find myself condoning violence, but I cannot disapprove. Actually, I was gonna say that he actually didn't do attack. He was attacked and he was defending himself. If I was the photographer,
right.
I mean, I'm not like a alpha male kind of hero kind of person. Like, oh, I'm gonna attack you. I'm just gonna go in the corner and call the cops, right? If it's illegal,
right?
Right. But this guy was defending himself. He didn't even attack. So
he was not the first to attack.
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah, the groom attacked him.
Today,
So.
okay. All right, let's go to the next story.
Next story.
Oh wait, somebody.
Kind of,
by the way, Shannon is in the live chat. Is this the same Shannon that I'm gonna be that contacted me on Facebook? I'm not sure, but she wants to be a friend. Muscal is saying, Armin, I thought Turkey was very secular country. Am I wrong? Well, it used to be. Is moving away from that. Thanks to Atatürk it was, but not thanks to Erdogan. Where that's now a question mark, giant question mark. We'll see what the future holds.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I see Shannon. Hi, Shannon.
Burak is correct. Said the same thing I did. So yeah, Shannon is just Shannon. You're the reason why this episode is going so fast because of our show that we have. Okay.
Muscal is asking the girl is 15. How old is the man she's supposed to marry? They didn't give the man's age, and they didn't say if it was an arranged marriage. So unfortunately, I don't know. Yes, okay. Shannon and I are going to be best friends. Yay!
All right.
Okay. See. So moving on to the next story. A Malaysian man who married an 11-year-old Thai girl is fined roughly $450 by the Sharia court.
Wait, what?
What happened was a Malaysian man went to Thailand and found an 11-year-old.
Why is this a theme today? Marrying underage girls.
I kind of lump stories together sometimes so they flow nicely. So these two were popular. So first of all, his marriage to this 11-year-old girl brought outrage everywhere.
Good.
He's a 41-year-old rubber dealer from Malaysia. He went to Thailand, found this 11-year-old baby, and decided to marry her. Brings her back to Malaysia, and it caused huge outrage because this was not his first or second wife. I think this was like his third wife.
Why is Thailand such a popular place for this? I'm scared of. I want to go to Thailand now. I'm scared of going to Thailand. Like people are like, why are you going to Thailand? Why is this a Thailand? Like, is this a thing in Thailand? Like, is that why? Like, I don't know. It's every time I hear like about people that travel for this kind of for underage sex and stuff is usually Thailand. I don't know, but go on. Yeah. Is it because?
So he's also facing 6 months in prison for doing this. He was taken to the Islamic court where they said that a girl below the age of 16 can marry if they're in Malaysia and they have permission from the Islamic court. But he did not get permission from the Islamic court. Trying to get around...
So the mistake was not that she was 11. The mistake was that he didn't get permission from the Islamic court.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know where the priorities are.
This was his... He claimed his third marriage was legal and that it had blessing of the girl's parents. So this was his third marriage, by the way. He has 2 other wives, so this was his third wife. So he actually tried fighting this because Malaysian law says that you can marry a girl under the age of 15 legally, but you have to have permission from the religious court, and you have to do it in Malaysia.
What the fuck?
So since he tried to get around that, he's facing that fine and up to 6 months in prison.
What? Okay, so Malaysia, which is like the symbol of, look how Islamic countries could be modern and tolerant and all that good stuff. It says it's legal to marry girls under 15. Yeah.
You can marry girls under 16.
16.
Well, how and under, you can marry them as long as you get permission from the religious court.
Okay, so other people you don't need permission, but if it goes 13 and under, you need permission?
If she's 16 if she's under 16, then you need permission.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. And this is for inside Malaysia as well? Like, you could do that inside Malaysia as well?
Yes, you'll have to do it in Malaysia and get permission from the Islamic courts.
That's insane. This is okay. Anybody, any people from Malaysia, please comment on this. This is okay. All right. Okay.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Let me see the first. Yeah. That's insane. The fact that they're like a supposedly secular country has the Islamic permission such a big part of their legal system is also insane. And the fact and this motherfucker, he was allowed to go have sex with an 11-year-old, but he still didn't do it. He's still like, I don't want to go through the getting permission part. Like, even though the whole, like, even though he was now allowed to do that, he still managed to do it illegally. What the fuck, right?
Right. I know. I know.
Okay.
Wow.
This is okay. It's amazing that how something that like in United States or in Canada could get you so many years in prison, in another country, in another advanced country like Malaysia, it's just like, yeah, just get a permission for it. You're okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Russia. Next one.
Russia is having a problem with sweeping arrests of Jehovah's Witnesses. In Moscow, they're saying that law enforcement authorities across Russia have been carrying out a sweeping campaign against the Jehovah's Witnesses in recent months. That they're actually going into people's houses and searching for evidence that they're trying to spread this extremist organization's religious activities in their country. So they are putting people in prison for 10 years. I mean, the maximum is 10 years for being a part of an extremist organization, which they're calling the Jehovah's Witnesses. And of course, other people are protesting this. People around the world who are human rights advocates. They're saying that the Jehovah's Witnesses are simply peacefully exercising their rights of freedom and religion, and that there's no reason to believe that they're an extremist organization. And that Russia needs to stop this now.
Wait, so in their mind, what's the difference between what Jehovah's Witnesses are doing and what other Christians are doing? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know.
What makes Jehovah's Witnesses...
I guess what makes Jehovah's Witnesses different is they actually, like, go out and prophesize, like, everywhere.
Wait. So unlike Mormons? Unlike other Christians?
Just like Mormons.
Unlike
Just
Muslims?
like Mormons. And I think that they also crack down on that as well. It's just the Jehovah's Witnesses haven't really been big in Russia, have they?
Wait, so other Christians in Russia don't go out and tell people about the becoming, like, that's in Russia is mostly Orthodox Christianity, right? So
right.
Is spreading Christianity not part of their agenda? I don't understand.
Well, Christians door-to-door pamphlets, Jehovah's Witnesses do.
And that's
so I don't know.
I have to.
I'm not trying to defend Russia.
Yeah, I'm actually. I'm an atheist activist, but I have to agree with I have to take the side of Jehovah's Witnesses here. Handing out pamphlets is not extremism.
It's not extremism at all. I just, if anyone wanted to know what I think the difference is between what they're doing and why all of a sudden they're under the radar, that might be why. Anyone of any religion, as long as they're not harming other people or animals, I don't see what the big deal is.
I mean, it's wrong and it's dangerous, but you combat that by you combat that by arguing and talking to them, not like.
You combat bad ideas with better ideas.
Yeah. You don't combat them by...
Not by telling them they can't have their religion. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and by treating pamphlets as if, like, they're bombs or something, right? Like, yeah. No, this is insane. And I bet you Jehovah's Witnesses everywhere outside of Russia are happy about it. This is going to be like, oh, look what they're doing to us.
It's big for them. They get a lot of,
Allie,
they're the victims.
Sometimes your audio goes really loud. I don't know why, but it's okay. Okay. But yeah,
Okay.
but this is going to be a major thing, like a major donation boost for Jehovah's Witnesses everywhere else, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, this is not good. You know, this is not how you combat
Yeah.
religion. You don't make a victim out of them. I don't
No.
personally agree with the practice of any religion, but this is tyranny. Oh yeah, Jay, top comment, agreed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, next.
Next, in Denmark, they have a harsh new law for immigrant ghettos. Um, Denmark is now pulling out a brand new law saying that low-income immigrant neighborhoods, described as the government as ghettos, will have to their children are going to have to be separated from their families once they turn the age of 1 for at least 25 hours a week, not including nap time, for mandatory instruction in Danish values.
What? What? Really?
So the Danish government is going to be teaching children from the ghettos about Christmas and Easter
By
in
ghettos,
Danish
they mean
language.
by ghettos they mean Muslim immigrants, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at these ghettos, these low income neighborhoods, you find that mostly they have Muslim immigrants living there because that's what the government subsidizes for. They say here's enough money for you to live. They say okay, the only place they can live is this low income housing. They say
Right.
fantastic. So the majority of these low income areas are Muslim immigrants, and they're saying okay, well, if you want us to keep paying you money, you're going to have to hand over your kids 25 hours a week.
You know, this would be interesting, but what are they teaching them? I heard like they're teaching them like Christian values. Is that what they're teaching them?
Not necessarily, just traditions of Christmas and Easter. So not necessarily like forcing another religion on them, but forcing what their traditions are. They as a country traditionally celebrate Christmas and Easter, and I understand that those are religious things. So I mean, obviously there's going to be some crossover, but that's not what they're claiming their intention is.
So this is not like tyrannical because they're not saying you have to. They're saying if you want money, you have to.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of fair, but I wish part of the values was not like Christmas and Easter. Maybe like Enlightenment values, like human rights, equality. Well, you know, equality in rights, not equality in outcome. You know, stuff like that. You know, like modern values, Western values, Enlightenment values, not like practice and traditions. Why if they want, I mean, why is that important, right? I mean, if they just teach them some, you know, morals superior to Islam.
This is forced assimilation law, which I don't necessarily think that this is going to make the children assimilate more. I think what this is going to do is it's going to make the parents more resentful. And you know, it's going to tear children apart. You know, either I listen to my parents and I care about their values.
No, but it's a choice. They're giving them a choice. They're not saying that you have to do this. They say that if you want money, then you have to do this. So it's not really.
But if they don't do it, then they lose their home.
Yeah, well, then they didn't have to come here for free money.
That's sad. I think that's sad.
Well, I mean, I think it's a bad idea to make it seem like you're, even if it's not Christian values, if it's Christian tradition, it still seems like the PR front of it is going to look really shitty, right? I don't know if I would be against this if it was just basic. Maybe it shouldn't have even been. They shouldn't even said that this is like cultural thing. It should be like schooling, right? Just we're gonna teach your kids like proper skills, right? So that it wouldn't be like, oh, you're competing with our culture. And once you get them into schools, you'll have like teach them some math, and then slip in some classes on human rights and equality and all that shit. You should have marketed this as education rather than cultural something. Even if you do slip in some cultural thing in there, I think the branding of it was a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Someone in our Facebook chat just said fake news.
Is it fake news?
Okay. It's not fake news.
It's not fake news? No, it's not fake. I hear this in
No,
yeah,
it's
okay.
not.
If
It's
it
not fake news.
All right. Okay, if it's fake, if you can prove that this is fake news, please comment on the video version of this once the live chat is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that it's popular now to call news you don't like fake.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So.
If you don't like it, it's fake news.
It's just fake news.
Yeah. Hendrik is saying, as a Dane, let me try to. Oh, there we go. We have a Dane here, so we're gonna see what this person thinks. Hendrik is saying, as a Dane, let me try to explain this. First, understand that we have a large immigration from Middle Eastern countries, which possess challenges. Unlike Sweden, we like to know what is going on in our country. All right, fair enough for now. High crime rate, yes. High percentage of welfare, yes. Many not willing to integrate, yep. Those are all problems. The common Dane asks themselves why anyone would choose Denmark as a home when they don't like our culture, don't drink alcohol, or eat pork. Our two main export goods. Oh, really? Oh wow, that's very interesting. The two main export goods of Denmark is anti-Islamic. Oppose our gay rights, oppose our women's rights, despise the country's main religion. Well, I wish your country didn't have a main religion. Don't want their children to become too Danish. Insist on special rights for their religion and culture. Yeah, that's bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, as in, I agree with you that that shouldn't be the case. Low to no respect for our laws and don't want to learn our language. We Danes have every right to be so naive. Why naive? That we believe that those who move to our country want to be like us. Why else would they move here? Because of money and free handout, not because of your country. I think we are fed up. I mean, I'm not blaming them. A lot of them are very poor, but I agree with you that you should say, well, this is how we live here. If you want to come here, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say that. I feel like you're like, okay, if you want to come here and live here, this is how shit is done here. I just wish that saying that this is how stuff is done here was more about Enlightenment values rather than Christian tradition. We are fed up with this. Yeah. That's why we are starting to lay down rules. Good. Yeah, I agree with that. Which we should have done 40 years ago. Yeah, I agree with all of that. I just wish that it was more based on values that work. I mean, even if the cultural tradition part of Christianity is not really Christian dogma, it's just culture and tradition, it's harder to sell that if that's how you marketing it. Canada need this as well. Yeah, the thing about Canada is that we have an ocean between us and them, so it's easier for us to screen them. But you're right. I hope we don't become like Europe. Anyways, let me see some of the comments. They are going to do this. Is that economical slavery? I don't know which part are we talking about. If Trump wasn't so hard on migrants, do you think this would be going on in Denmark? Is this to get them to change their religion? No, it's not to change. I don't think they're teaching them Christianity. They're just making them learning about Christmas and Easter, just the celebration parts. Muslims in America seem to integrate into our culture. Why do you suppose that is so? Because we have a giant ocean between us and them, and Canada as well, not just America. And you have to buy a ticket to be able to come here. So we get mostly the upper class, middle class. We don't get people that can get on a boat or a truck and secretly come to Canada and US. We have a major filter between us and the Middle East. And that's why we usually get the most in US and Canada. We mostly get the more educated ones. That's why I think. One of the many reasons, not the only reason. All right. Another Muslims. There are a lot of Americans that would say or feel that Hispanics assimilate to American culture. Some don't, like them speaking Spanish or waving the Mexican flag. I really don't give a shit about culture that much. Enjoy whatever culture you want. I care more about values. You could dance, Spanish dance and enjoy Mexican food and read Arabic books, as long as your values and the rights that you think a country should have for its citizens are in line with Enlightenment values. Culture is just a personal taste, right? You enjoy whatever culture you want. Culture really doesn't affect how we treat each other. I mean, it does actually, but there's two parts of culture. One of them is the shitty part, the part of culture that tells you that acts like a moral guide. That's the shitty part of culture. It's just like religion. We didn't need to look into our ancestors to decide how to live. The part of culture that is the entertainment part of culture, that's based on personal taste, and it doesn't really matter. Enjoy the music, the food, the clothes that you enjoy, whatever it is. Appropriate other people's culture as much as you want, as long as you like it. That's just a personal taste thing. That shouldn't matter. It's just the values part your values shouldn't be influenced by culture or religion. It should be influenced by logic and reason alone. All right. Next and
last, the Philippines president apologizes to God for calling him stupid. In his speech, the president asked, "Who is this stupid God? You created something perfect, and then you think of an event that would destroy the quality of your work. How can you rationalize that, God? How can you believe him? So now we're all born with an original sin. Even in the womb, we already have sin. What kind of a religion is that?" Well, the founder of one of the largest Christian churches in the Philippines got upset, and he demanded a public apology to God for committing the highest form of blasphemy by mocking and cursing God. So the president's apology was posted by the Presidential Communication Operations Office on Facebook. And that's when the president said in his video, if it's the same God, I'm sorry. That's how it is. Sorry, God. I said sorry, God. If God is taken in a generic term by everybody listening, then that's well and good. He continued by saying that he won't apologize to his critics, who he says should never use the name of God to attack government. I only apologize to God and nobody else. If I wronged God, he would be happy to listen. Why? Because my God is all forgiving. Why? Because God created me to be good and not bad.
Okay, what the fuck? Alright, this is interesting, funny, good, and weird all at the same time. First of all, just to understand, for people to understand, this is one of the most Catholic countries in the world. Okay, and Duterte enjoys a lot of popularity, even though in one of the most Catholic countries in the world where people, really take their religion seriously, a lot of them, not all of them. This guy has been fighting the church a lot, even the fucking Pope, and people have still been loyal to him, right? He has like a very loyal following, and now he's going after God himself, and calling him stupid. And does his following still? Do you know if I know the church is speaking against him, but are people?
I think this died down. This died down a lot. I think people were really happy with his apology. They thought it was great that he apologized to God.
To God.
And this actually got a lot of people really happy with him again, even though he just called God stupid.
This is his first apology, isn't it?
I think so.
Because he at one point, I know a lot of Filipinos might not like that I'm saying this, because a lot of Filipinos like him, but at some point he said that this female reporter, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're from Philippines, I know a lot of Filipinos are going to get offended about this, but he said that a reporter that was raped and killed, he said that he wished that he was there so he could rape her as well because she was pretty. And then when they asked him about it, he said he wasn't joking. And another instance, he said that, women that are rebellious in Philippines, I don't know, again, correct me if I'm just wrong, the soldiers should shoot them in the vagina because that's worse than dying, because apparently a woman is useless without her vagina, right? It's nothing, so that's why they should shoot them. So he makes comments like this and he never apologizes for them. And now he apologized for this. So this is the first time he's apologized. But still, the fact that in this country somebody could come and say, God is stupid. First of all, didn't he say, can somebody bring me proof for God? Didn't he say that somewhere?
He did, yes. He asked for proof of God. Said if anyone can bring him a picture or proof.
A picture. Okay. So, is this the first president ever that is going after God like this in history? Like, do we have?
I think so. Wow.
All right. This has the atheist community in Philippines divided a lot because half of them love the fact that they have a president that is going after religion and God so much. And the other half, they're like, no, I don't know if it's half actually, just one group and another group. The other group is saying like, we are not just atheists, we're humanists as well. And a lot of them don't like the way that he treats drug addicts. Without, like, some of them get shot without due process. Again, details, if you have details and you think we're wrong, just put it in the comments. Don't if I know a lot of Filipinos get very, very sensitive about this. They're like, oh, they say the media is lying about him and you're not Filipino, so you're not in Philippines. Don't comment about our president. You don't know anything. Okay, well, educate us in the comment section. But yeah, so this is okay. So I think this is going to make him really, the fact that this guy doesn't apologize, right? And the fact that finally the church managed to get him to apologize about something is going to make him really resent them. Like, I think he's going to go after the church even harder after this. I think. I'm not sure, though. We'll see. But
we'll see.
Yeah, they call him, by the way, the Trump of the East. And yeah, a lot of the stuff but a lot of Filipinos don't like that. They say, no, he's better than Trump. He's not Trump. What do you think? What do you think this is? This, when I was in Philippines, I saw like there's so many. I lived in the Philippines for a whole year, right? And there's so many big churches there, and religion really does influence people's lives. One way, like there's only 2 countries in the world that there is no divorce. Like even in Saudi Arabia, men can divorce women. Women, it's really difficult for women to divorce men, right? But in 2 countries, there is no divorce at all because of the Bible. One of them is Vatican, and the other one is the Philippines. They're trying to overturn that. I don't know how that's going. But if you do have a lot of money, you could hire a lawyer to make it so it look like you were never even married. But for most people, that's not an option. And the Pope before this Pope, mentioned that condoms are bad. And in Philippines, a lot of people see anything that could stop pregnancy is looked down upon. Like when I was there, I went to buy condoms. Even the fucking pharmacist was telling me this is a bad idea. The pharmacist. Yeah. Right? And this is a country that, I don't know, population is, not all countries are suffering from overpopulation, but I think Philippines is one of them. And people are told that, they shouldn't stop a pregnancy. And another thing you notice is a lot of girls get pregnant by age 13 or 14, either because they were raped or because they were fooling around. And their parents really don't want them to have bastard children, so they force them to marry their rapist or whoever they were with, and because they can't divorce. This is in village areas, a lot of the outside the city. This happens a lot, and because they can't divorce them now, they're now stuck with their rapist forever. Um,
That's so disgusting.
yeah. So I don't know. This is a mixed thing. At least we could say it's a positive thing that he's fighting the church. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about the his policies on drug addiction, but a lot of people love him for that because a lot of people in Philippines think that drug addiction was a major problem. A lot of people think that crime was going up in Philippines a lot, and he's changing that. But if you actually look at statistics, crime was going down in Philippines. It wasn't going up. It was just being reported more often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and people had this impression that crime is going up. Um, so they thought that they think that he's bringing it down. Let me see what the first comment is. Ricky, I think he means he apologized to Christian voters, considering most of the Philippines is Catholic. Yeah, but
No, he specifically said that he
said
was
no.
not apologizing to anyone but God. Yeah.
I think he's an atheist, don't you think? Like I don't like he's.
I think so.
Yeah, he's asking for proof. He's saying God is stupid. I think he's not, even though he's very outspoken. He says things that nobody says. Like he's not afraid. I think he's still not doesn't feel comfortable to say that if there was a God, he was stupid. He just says God is stupid. I mean, like you have to have like major balls to be able to, as the president of a country, to come and say, as the president of one of the most religious countries in the world, to come and say, I think God is stupid. You know, like that. Imagine if the president of the United States, Obama or Trump or anybody said that. Like they would have never be reelected again, right? If Obama said like God is stupid, right? What would happen, right? Like they would, but that's United States, and now Philippines is more religious than United States. So, but this guy gets away with saying that. I don't understand how that works. Wow, this article got 456 likes. Anyways, I'm getting close to 5, so I have to go. We are. So Moose Gal is saying they need family planning there or to learn about abortions. By the way, one thing I like about Philippines is that atheist activism is growing there a lot. Okay. And one of the Atheist Republic consulates in Manila, Davao, other cities, Cebu. Where else do we have in Philippines? Where crazy
is it Ilio?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Angeles.
And yeah, so our Manila consulate, I think, is the largest Atheist Republic consulate, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's actually our largest across the world.
Yes, it's like the demand for atheist activism and anti-religion in Philippines is growing really, really fast. I'm so proud of our consulate in Manila. And I hope that this disagreement over Duterte among the atheist community doesn't tear them apart, right? Let's learn to disagree with each other without hating each other, okay? I know this Duterte is a very sensitive topic in Philippines. People get very emotional on both sides talking about Duterte, but it's very important because this is a growing movement in the Philippines, and I hope people there learn to passionately disagree with each other without hating each other for their disagreement. It's very important. No matter how wrong you think the other side is, don't destroy the atheist movement over this in the Philippines. Okay. Shows. I have to go. Show starts in half an hour. The other show that I'm going to be on, and the channel was what? Heathen Hour. Heathen Hour. Look that up. I'm going to be there soon. I'm going to go get ready. And yeah, so this was the last news, right? And sorry again, guys, for last week not having. I was in London. I'll try to make sure that I get better internet when I'm traveling next time. Love you all in the live chat. Shannon, I'll see you soon. Beach, bye. Muscal, anybody?
Bye, Beach. Bye, everybody.
Brian, thank you being here again. Who else? Oh, Soraya is here again. Oh, I saw Savannah here up above. Who else? Yeah, people in the Facebook chat: Jeff, Robin, Drew, Scott, Pawan. Thank you guys. Love you all, and see you guys again next week. Lots of love from Savannah. Yay. Live long and prosper. Oh, by the way, I saw Mike in London. We had really great time. It's really good to LOL. Bye, lovers. Okay, nice show. Bye, Alex. Stop streaming.